Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we are going to discuss translation techniques on TCM English. Based on the thesis I made, I'd like to share some experience and skills with all of you. Are you ready? The thesis, C2E translation of acupuncture and moxibustion terminologies from functional equivalence perspective, I made for my master degree. First, I'd like to introduce what functional equivalence is. Of course, very briefly. The essence of NIDA's functional equivalence theory emphasizes that the functional equivalence of information is that of the direct formal equivalence in translation. The relationship between the target language receptor and the target text should generally be equivalent to that between the source language receptor and the source text. 这里我给大家简要介绍一下尤金·奈达。他是美国语言学家、翻译家、翻译理论家。这位在学术界赫赫有名的人物，默默地在美国圣经协会公知半个多世纪。他一生的主要学术活动都围绕圣经翻译展开。在圣经翻译的过程中，奈达从实际出发，发展出了一套自己的翻译理论，最终成为翻译研究的经典之一。他也是一位著作等身的翻译家。奈达理论的核心概念是功能对等。所谓功能对等，就是说翻译时不求文字表面的死板对应，而要在两种语言间达成功能上的对等。为使原语和目的语之间的转换有一个标准，减少差异，他从语言学的角度出发，根据翻译的本质，提出了著名的动态对等等翻译理论，即功能对等。奈达认为，意义是最重要的，形式其次。In the textbook for Chinese students, definition of 经络 is as follow. 吴敦旭老师的教科书中，经络的描述如下：它是人体运行全身气血，联络脏腑形体官窍，沟通上下内外的通道。它是经脉和络脉的总称。那么由此可见，经络名词的出现较脉为晚。经络是对脉的进一步分析。人体的经络系统是由经脉、络脉、经筋、皮部和脏腑等5个部分组成。大家可能会疑惑了，我们不是要探讨发音技巧吗？我们怎么探讨起它的中文含义来了？实际上，这是非常必要的一步。稍后我会给大家提到，我们要做到有效的翻译，首先我们要对它的中文含义了解得非常透彻。你只有在这个基础上，才能去找到一个对等的或者相近的翻译来翻译它，从而达到交际、交流的目的。而根据李兆国老师的描述，经络是经脉和络脉的总称，是人体运行气血的通路。经脉，经有经过路径的意思，它是经络系统中的主干，比较粗大，一般是纵行走向的，分布在体表的较深层。经脉主要有12经脉、奇经八脉和12经别3类。而络脉，络有联络、网络的意思，它是经脉的分支，比较细小，位于较表浅的部位，其分布纵横交错，网络全身，无所不至。络脉包括有15络脉、孙络、浮络等内容。So, 经络 is a general term for the 经脉 meridians and the 络脉 collaterals, which are the pathways through which the qi and blood of human body circulate. 经 means going through or a path. They are main trunks, thick and large. They run longitudinally and interiorly within the body. They include the 12 regular meridians, the 8 extra meridians, and the 12 divergent meridians. 络 means something that connects or a net. They are the branches of the meridians, thin and small. They run transversely and superficially, and crisscross and net the whole body. They include the 15 clitoris, the minute clitoris, and the superficial clitoris. From Professor Wu, we understand why channel is used at first to stand for 经络, for they are subdivision and the concept of 脉, and 脉 once was translated as channel or vessel. This may be used to correspond to the subject matter from NIDA, and what's more, it is traditional. From the dictionary, compiled by the team of Li Zhaoguo, a Kansas City Dictionary of Traditional Chinese Medicine, 经 is translated as follow: meridian or channel, menstruation or period, or canon, while 络 is translated just as clitoral. From this translation, we can understand the profound and great feature of the Chinese character. Just one character, 经, has three meanings. So when we translate a certain Chinese character, first we must recognize which kind of the meaning we are going to use, and then translate it. And under meridians and clitoris, there are more branches to use. The regular meridians, 正经, the extraordinary meridians, 奇经, the divergent clitoris, 别络, superficial clitoris, 浮络, fine clitoris, 孙络. Well, we have another translation way for 孙络, minute clitoris, from Professor Li Daosheng and Shi Min. They compiled the textbook of acupuncture and moxibustion for international students. And also 经络 is translated as 经络, because they believe this translation way is better to express the unique Chinese culture. Fine means, from Laman, very thin, involving differences, changes or details that are difficult to understand and notice. Well, minute means extremely small. 孙络 refers to the tiny part of clitoris and hard to observe. Therefore, fine is better to modify 孙. As for other classifications, they are almost confirmed to use regular, extraordinary, divergent, and superficial to respectively modify 正, 奇, 别, 符. The translations of these adjectives are perfect to show dynamic equivalence over formal correspondence, for they are appropriate codes for use to spread Chinese symbols. With the understanding of how to translate 经络, we are going to talk about how to translate the specific names of the 12 regular meridians. You know that for each terminology, there are three parts: body part, meridian entrance, and organ. Take 手太阴肺经 for example. 手, this stands for body part, and 太阴 for meridian entrance, 肺 for organ. So the whole terminology should be translated as the long meridian of hand, 太阴. In Professor Li Daosheng and Shi Min's work, 任脉 is translated as the Ren meridian, RN for short. 督脉 is translated as the Du meridian, DU for short. Well, according to the book, Who Standard Acupuncture Point Locations in the Western Pacific region, 任脉 is translated as Conception Vessel, CV, and 督脉 is translated as Governor Vessel, GV. And the textbook, compiled by Professor Li Zhaoguo, adopts the latter translation. It seems that the latter way is more acceptable because it indicates the usage of the two channels. Some believe that the formal translation is better because it is easy to spread special Chinese terminologies to other cultures, and English equivalence is not accurate. Here are some explanations to this. You can check it with yourself. As for the translation of 脏腑, we have several ways. 脏腑 and 脏腑 with both the first letters capitalized. Viscera, the plural form of viscers, 脏腑 organs, viscera and bowels. 脏腑 with no dot is transliteration to show unique feature of Chinese concept. And how about borrowing organ, viscera, and bowels? In Langman, organ means a part of the body, such as heart or lungs, that has a particular purpose. 吴敦旭老师的教材中对于脏腑的描述如下。Therefore, organ is quite suitable to express 脏腑, because it is unique culture, so 脏腑 organ is the best translation. Dr. Liu Ning once said in her comparative study of terminology standard on visceral manifestation theory in traditional Chinese medicine, she once mentioned that we have these ways to translate 脏腑 and the general term 脏and腑. Please remember all these numbers before the translations. She believed there are 5 principles to measure translation work on TCM terminologies as follow. The numbers we mentioned are in accordance with the numbers here. We have different standards. 前面不同的翻译方式的数字序号和这里的数字相对应。也就是说，刘宁博士他认为我们要依据这些标准来翻译我们的术语，这些标准就是我们翻译的一个基石。而五脏的翻译，我们来看一下具体。比如说心 ，on TCM, it is not only pumping blood, but also it controls spirit, dormants one's behavior, and these functions cannot express through the simple modern medicine terminology, heart. The definition here is very similar to what heart means in English. According to Langman, heart means the organ in which your chest, which pumps blood through your body. It is clear to notice the definition here is quite different from the English heart, because heart in English cannot be regarded as yang within yang, and storing spirit. 心 of Chinese pinyin thus is recommended. I believe triple safety is more scientific. Chinese character plus Chinese pinyin plus English equivalence. That is, 心 should be translated as 心 Chinese pinyin and then 心 heart. One thing to add, because of the physiology, if the number needs to be emphasized, S should be added after term 肺 lung and 肾 kidney. For example, 肺包含左右两片肺叶 may be translated as lungs include 2 lobes on the left and right. But however, when number is not that important, nature and function of the organs are focused. For example, 肺开窍于鼻 could be translated as lung opens into the nose. So, for the reason of transliteration, some suggest the 5 脏 organs should be translated as follow. What I told you, the triple safety. Here come the rules of translation. Symbols are clear, subjects explained, messages transmitted and with no doubt, the audiences will understand. 以此类推，六幅的翻译我们就可以采用如下的翻译方式。这是第一种 We borrow the medical words from modern medicine. They exist English terminologies. Well, if we imitate the translation way of 5 zang organs, maybe the following is better. Triple safety. The 6 full organs in TCM include the gallbladder, stomach, large intestine, small intestine, bladder, and triple energizer. According to Li Zhaoguo, their common physiological function is to transport and digest the foodstuff and excrete the waste. From the description, the function is very similar to the definition in modern medicine for 6 full organs. 这里特别想和大家探讨一下三焦的音译。我们现在公认的翻译是 triple energizer。吴敦旭老师的解释是这样的。那么关于焦字的含义，历代医家的认识也是不一致的。有的人认为它就是体内脏器，是有形之物，也有的人认为焦字重火，为无形之气，能腐蚀水谷之变化，也就是消化食物了。也有的人认为焦字应该被理解作巧字，锤也、解也，分为3个区域。而 energizer 在英文中的意思 someone who imparts energy and vitality and spirit to other people. Also, it is a device that supplies electrical energy. 奇恒之府。这里值得一提的是，在我们中医的术语的音译过程中，对于一些没有转换过来的文言文，我们实际上还要做一个语内翻译，也就是把文言文翻译成白话文。比如说这里的女子包，也就是我们现代医学指的子宫。首先我们要做这一步的翻译。其他的翻译方式可以参照我们刚才讲过的五脏六腑的翻译。这里有一些详细的描述 You can check with yourself. 在学术界，对于一些术语的翻译至今仍然存在着争议。我们来看一下这个气。吴敦旭老师提到，气是不断运动的极其细微的物质，它是构成人体的最基本物质，它是维持人体生命活动的最基本物质。而我们的英文翻译有多种多样 energy, vitality, 气 or chi, or the last one, chi. 之所以最后一种翻译 chi 会出现，那是因为 q is very difficult to pronounce in English. So we just use the ch to instead of it. 在灵枢九针12元中提到，夫气之在脉也，邪气在上，浊气在中，清气在下。李兆国老师把这句话翻译作 When qi has invaded the channels, 邪气 evil qi is in the upper, 浊气 turbid qi is in the middle, and 清气 lucid qi is in the lower. 这里面给大家介绍4个和气有关的常见的术语音译。正气一般被翻译成 healthy 气，而邪气被翻译作 pathogenic 气，浊气 turbid 气，清气 lucid 气。所以可见，在目前较为通行的版本中，气还是最常见的一个翻译。Well, blood is conformed to apply for the differences between Chinese and Western image is subtle to recognize. We just borrow medical English terminology here to gain audience heart. As is known to all, the needle used in acupuncture is special, from bone to metal. 扁石 is regarded as the original needle in acupuncture, translated as stone needle or 扁 needle. It has different types. The most common one is 毫针. 毫针 is a must when practice acupuncture, translated as filiform needle, by Professor 李道生 and 施敏, for most books. Actually, there are other shapes of needle. There are translations according to who. Please check with yourself. Now, I'd like to talk something about 皮针, stiletto or sword needle. We have two translation ways. 皮针它是古针具名9针之一，我们也可以称它皮刀、剑针。灵书的9针论中提到，皮针取法与剑锋，广2分半，长4寸，主大痈脓，两热蒸者也。皮针形如宝剑，两面有刃，多用于外科，以刺破痈疽，排出脓血。那我们再来分析一下常用的2种翻译。Stiletto means 短剑、细高跟鞋或者打眼锥，而 sword means a weapon with a long pointed blade and a handle. So, which one is better? Now let's talk about 大针. Still, we have two translation ways, big or large needle. 灵书9针论中提到，大针取法与风针，其锋微圆，长4寸，主取大气不出关节者出。Well, according to Langman, big refers to a thing of more than average size, amount, weight, etc., while large means bigger or more than usual in number, amount, or size. So, from this aspect, I believe large is better than big. Do you agree? 下面我们再来探讨一下进针手法的英译方式。进针 means put needle into human body at a certain acupoint, while 手法 means angle of different acupoints. Both of them are essential to the treatment of a certain diseases. According to WHO, in 2007, this phrase was translated as needle insertion method. Especially, there are 双手进针法 double-handed needle insertion, 指切进针法 fingernail pressing needle insertion, 挟持进针法 handle holding needle insertion, 提捏进针法 pinching needle insertion, 舒张进针法 skin spreading needle insertion, 单手进针法 single-handed needle insertion, and 管针进针法 insertion of needle with tube